Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Flagrant Talk Sports Podcast. It's me, Isaiah, here with my favorite co host, Mr. Moses Firmino.
How's it going, everybody?
And today we have got some must watch players for this year's March Madness. We've already done our whole bracket video, it's over 2 hours long. Go ahead and check that out if you have not already. We also yesterday did dark horse teams or Cinderella teams that you can look at as the hours are closing for you to submit that bracket. And I know how difficult that can be. So in this video, Mo has three players. I have three players, and we're going to highlight them, some of their strengths, why you should be tuning into them, and what makes them so dangerous in this year's tournament. Mo, anything to add before we get started?
Not too much, man. Very excited for this video. Thank you all again for all the support over the last few weeks, months, anytime, honestly, any
Yep.
click, any comment, anything that you guys do that involves our channel, it means the world. And we really appreciate it and excited to keep getting out more content for you all with this one today.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to toss up and add, we have an ESPN bracket league, not sponsored, but it is free. You can go ahead, join in there. The link will be in both the description and the comments. No password, should be able to get in there, no problem. Make a bracket, put your name in there, and we would love to track how everyone's bracket does. Maybe give some shout outs if someone, really performs well, but we want to see as many brackets in this thing as possible. So
Yeah.
please feel free to join us. Both my bracket and Mo's bracket will be in there for all of you to dissect. But Mo, let's get this baby started with your first must watch player in this year's tournament.
My first player that is must watch in this year's tournament. I know he's on a popular team in the Duke Blue Devils, and Moses Cooper Flag, he's the man to watch. His status is currently up in the air right now. I'm going to give light to another freshman in Kon Knueppel, the 6'7" guard. He is a stud. He could play the forward as well because of his size. Definitely an NBA guy. 14.4
Absolutely.
points a game, 4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, as well as a steal. He came up pretty solid for them with Flag out in the ACC final. He was their second most leading scorer, scoring 18 points. He did not hit a three, unfortunately, going 0 for 5, but he is a very good three-point shooter at 39% on the season. He's also 47% from the field. And because of his size and length, he is a very good defender. He is going to be big for the Blue Devils, especially if they are going to go deep. He's going to need to be that 2, probably behind a 2-3 guy with Proctor there, but definitely going to be must watch, especially in these first few rounds.
Yeah, he has a strap. He can light it up, and he can light it up fast.
Yep.
Could be a top 10 pick in this year's draft, depending on how things go. And I do think with Flag status being up in the air and us seeing, I think he plays, but you're going to have to rely on some of these other guys. This is the perfect time for him to improve his stock.
Yep.
Love this pick here. And ironically, just piece this together. The next guy I have could go against your guy in the round of 32, hypothetically. I have
Man.
VJ Edgecombe of Baylor University. Man, I got to see him hoop his first ever collegiate game against Gonzaga. It was a massacre. Baylor Bears lost by nearly 40 points, but I was so excited to see Edgecombe play in person, knowing this is probably a top 5 pick in this year's draft and a legitimate guy in a head-to-head against Flag that I need to see in the tournament. The highlight that you've probably seen from him is from that first game against Gonzaga, dunking on Joe Few with a minute or two left in the game. It was disgusting. I've never heard an arena go quiet that quickly, but a freshman, 6'5", 180 pounds, super athletic, and has really come into his own as a shooter. He's really started to develop that point of his in his game. 15 points, 5.6 boards, 3.3 assists. He's shooting 43.5% from the field and a 34.5% from long range. 2.1 steals per game. He's a great two-way player. He's got the size to play a 2-3 spot at the next level, a name that is undoubtedly popular. But when we do these videos, we assume there's a lot of people who don't tune into any college basketball, but are NBA fans and want to see like, all right, who are these stars? The two that Mo and I just highlighted are going to be names when we're doing the NBA draft live stream and doing NBA draft stuff that we're going to be talking about and discussing. Edgecombe, a freak athlete, solid shooter, and a must see player for the Baylor Bears, especially if they want to knock your guy off and Duke. You're going to need all hands on deck in order to do that.
Without a doubt, love the pick. And yeah, as you said, we kind of teetered on picking this Baylor Bears team in our bracket video spoiler. But man, two unbelievable prospects here.
Mm-hmm.
My second of the video is another guy that we're going to see when we're talking about NBA and the draft here in a couple months. Nique Clifford for the Colorado State Rams has blossomed into a star. Unbelievable run right now. Him and the Rams are on, becoming not even the upset pick anymore, the favorite as a 12 seed versus the Memphis Tigers. And for good reason. It's because of this guy right here. 19 points a game, 9.7 boards, 4.5 assists, as well as 1.2 steals. He is a stud. I've seen it firsthand in the final game of the season where he came in to Boise State and dropped 36 points with the Rams seeding season on the line, basically boosting them to the 2 seed in the tournament. And look where it got him. Just an all-around unbelievable prospect, can score at all 3 levels, can play defense 1 through 4, even handle his own with a 5-man. Haven't seen it as well in the Mountain West, but we'll see how he faces up against these bigger, better bigs in the tournament. And if they can knock off Memphis, they're due to go on a nice run. So we'll see, man. Yeah.
It's a hot Colorado State team. You being the Mountain West analyst on the channel, obviously you get that different perspective being a Boise State fan and seeing all of these players over the course of the year. But yeah, Clifford is incredible. Like, if you have not seen him yet, he's super versatile, can play a multitude of positions, and is just dominant. Like a walking 20-point double-double.
Yeah.
And I would expect nothing less in their first game against Memphis, and potentially more, like you said, depending on what Clifford can do. The next guy that I have, I highlighted the team in the last video, and I'm doubling down with Bennett Stirtz in this video. My goodness, this junior, 6'4", 180, is a walking bucket in any court that he steps on in the country. 19.1 points, that is 41st in the entire country. 4.4 rebounds, 5.7 assists, which is good enough for 28th in the country. Shoots 49.3% as a guard. Just does everything well, almost 40% from deep. He's at 38.6% on the season. Leads his team in scoring, obviously, in assists at 5.7, and in steals at 2.2, where he can be a legitimate pest. Drake is a serious team, and a lot of people have picked them to beat Missouri and go on a run. I know it's a popular team, but Stirtz is the head of that snake. They go as far as he can take them. He has the talent undeniably to take them on a run and cause a problem for these teams. But if you haven't seen Drake play, Sturtz is absolutely the one. He plays with a great level of swagger and intensity on the court, and we saw it throughout their conference tourney. If Drake is going to go on a run, Bennett Stirtz is the reason that will happen.
100%. I believe snubbed today of being an All-American, but the fact that a mid-major player was being considered for that is pretty absurd, and it shows probably has earned his way into at least looks at the NBA. Just an unbelievable player all around, and I think Drake, as you said, primed with him to go on a little bit of a run.
And one of the crazy stats I didn't even include, in his 33 games played this year, he is averaging 40 minutes a game or 39.3 minutes a game. He is playing basically the entirety of a game. So when you see Drake play, he's not coming off the floor. He might come for a quick little Gatorade, refresh. All right, coach, I'm getting right back out there. Like he's not missing time. And so I think to me, that's so crazy to have that tread on your tires and still be hooping at the level that he is. But I'm a big time Sturtz fan, and I'm excited to see what Drake can do in the tourney. But on to your last pick, Mo. Who do you have here?
I'm going a little bit off the board. A guy who has been injured for the second half of the season, the closing run that the Razorbacks had to go on to get into the tourney. But freshman guard Boogie Fland is a dog. This guy is 18 years old. Just absolute hooper. He can really score the ball before he injured his thumb and was out for the second half of the season, as I said. Put up 15 points, 3.4 boards, 5.7 assists on 39% from the field. He can shoot the three very well. Another NBA guy, something familiar to this list, it seems, but that's a reason. There's a reason that these players are must-watch guys in this tournament. Him coming back is a little bit scary for this Razorbacks team, as going into conference play, they were on a 5-game losing streak with him on the roster, and then they ended up coming back on the rest of the season and ended up getting into the tourney. But we'll see if his impact, I at least believe offensively, it's going to be a huge plus for this Razorbacks team, and it could really push them into going on a run.
I love this pick because you want to talk about, like you said, off the board, a complete X factor unknown. It's Boogie Fland. When we looked at this Arkansas roster going into this season, Boogie was the highlighted player where it's like, hey, he's going to carry the team into March Madness, be that lead guy under Calipari and this new regime. And then he got hurt. And it looked for a minute like Arkansas was screwed. They were able to get themselves together in a loaded SEC and make this tournament as a 10 seed.
Yeah.
But with Boogie Fland, we haven't seen this team. And him being given the green light to play, we don't know. No teams playing against them know, like, what is this going to be? Is he going to come in and drop 20 in his first game back? And it's like, oh, wow. All of a sudden, I believe Michigan State is the 2 seed. Like,
he's done it against a Michigan team this year. He dropped 20 against Michigan. Like, he's
like, it's such a weird X factor. I love this pick from you.
Yeah.
Because it's a complete unknown, and I'm excited to see what Boogie can do in the tournament. So glad we're going to get that moment with him playing some basketball. The final guy I have is not 18. This is a well-seasoned vet, a man who has played since 2019, 2020, and he's been with Clemson the entire way.
Respect.
Jace Hunter. Yeah. a senior now, obviously. And man, it was tough. Ian Shefflin was also a name I considered on this Tigers team. I really like this team. They're a senior team, and they're led by Chase Hunter, who does a little bit of everything for them. 16.4 points, 3 boards, 2.5 assists, 47% from the field. And most impressed by, of course, 41.2% from three. He can knock it down with the best of them. 1.4 steals per game, 86.3% from the stripe. So he's going to be the guy Clemson would rely upon in those close games to close it. I think for me, there's a real chance we see Clemson go on another deep run like they did last year. Hunter was obviously a part of that. And if this Tigers team is hoping to have a similar season and a similar outcome, it's led by a Chase Hunter who is that vet. I know we always like to see these freshmen come in and surprise everyone. What are we going to see out of Cooper Flagg or VJ or all of these players that we've highlighted? For me, I know what I'm getting out of a Chase Hunter, and I can't wait to see it because he has the ability to will the Tigers to a deep tournament run.
Love the pick here. Love the experience in Hunter. And yeah, this Tigers team, Zay and I are both very high on them.
Yep.
Kind of in a mosh pit of a draw, but if they can make it out of the first round, I think they're destined for another Elite Eight. This team is damn good, and he is the spearhead of it for sure.
I completely agree. These boys are dangerous,
Yeah.
and Chase Hunter will be the leading cause of that if they want to go on a deep run.
Yeah.
But that's the video from us. Let us know who are some of your guys that you're excited for. Are you a fan of a team and you're like, hey, this is who our guy is? Like, we need this guy to really show up if we want to go on a run. Is it a mid-major school that you're excited about? Whatever it is, let us know in the comments. And of course, real quick, last time, plug the ESPN. Go ahead and fill out a bracket. We want to see how many we can get before the tournament is here. And the song of the pod. Most importantly, Mo, what do you have for the people?
For the people today, I have another song from Cardi. Like Wheezy.
Brother.
Love the beat. Cardi is floating on it. It is just all around a really, really good song.
Great pick. That beat is beautiful for me as I get a spam risk call covering up the song. I have Reflections Laughing, The Weeknd, Florence and the Machines, and Travis Scott on Hurry Up Tomorrow. Banger song.
Yep.
Love the slow down mix at the end. And it's a perfect calm before the storm of this tournament. Let us know your thoughts. Fill out a bracket. Thank you for all the love. And we cannot wait to see you all in the next video.
Later,
Peace,
everybody.
everybody.